Gated residential community in Sao Paulo. We're joined now by Captain Ross Amer of Aero Consulting Experts, touted as the most experienced pilot in the world, still flying a private jet today. Captain, thanks for being with us. You've seen this video. When you look at it, what goes through your mind? What does it tell you about what potentially happened here?
Well, obviously it's too early to speculate anything. We really know very little about it, but that what we call a flat spin that you see the airplane getting into and eventually goes into a spiral spin, or otherwise known as a graveyard spin. It's a pretty rough thing to get into, and even rougher to get out of it.
And so how would one get into something like that?
Well, there's possibilities, many possibilities. At that altitude they were flying, there were some reports of icing. There's possibility of an engine failure, or even a flight control problem, or missing a flight control issue that could cause the aircraft to stall. And at that altitude, like I said, as it looks like, going into a flat spin and then eventually into a spiral spin, and as it goes down further, the speed increases, and by the time they hit the ground, they must have been doing extremely high rate of descent and speed.
And I know this is so hard to think about, but it's something a lot of our viewers are wondering about. What would the final moments be like for people on that plane?
I'm afraid it's not going to be good, because they're cognizant of what is happening. It's like a ride that has gone haywire, obviously, and fortunately it happened very quickly, but those few seconds are, I'm afraid, very painful.
So folks that may be flying here in the U.S. this weekend are watching this and wondering, could this happen here? Do U.S. airlines use this plane? Is this something we should be concerned about?
I don't think we're using that particular ATR 72 anymore in U.S. It's a commuter type airplane, turboprop, and a couple of airlines in U.S. use those in the past, but I don't think we have those in here. Fortunately for us, as you know, Alex, we've had a very good run at safety for the past few years, and I can attribute that to the great training and experience of our flight crews, our flight attendants, and our mechanics on the ground.
And when you say a good run, I mean essentially a perfect record, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We've been extremely lucky, considering the tremendous demand on our system and the fact that our system is overloaded. But we're doing, knock on wood here, we're doing excellent.
It continues to be safer to fly on the plane than to drive to the airport to get on the plane. So for this particular incident in Brazil, what are the next steps for the investigation?
Well, that video that you showed, although very gruesome, it's a very telling sign for the investigators. They also have nowadays we have the ADS-B data, which is a real-time data from the aircraft transmitted to the ground. So that ADS-B data will come very handy. And on top of that, I just heard that the flight and data recorders are very crucial in any investigation, have been recovered. Now, hopefully they're usable, and they should be able to retrieve a lot of information, basically coming to a conclusion on what exactly happened, what caused this aircraft to stall in such manner.
You know, 15, 20, 30 years ago, when this sort of thing would happen, there almost certainly would not be video of the crash. And these days, it seems like there's video of everything, but that's very helpful, I'm sure, for investigators in trying to figure out what happened here. Captain Ross Amer, thank you so much for your perspective. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Alex.